Hello, Nikki. Thank you for joining me today. It is just an opportunity to kind of hear a bit about your story, find out what kind of has been going on, why you decided to get involved with trading, and how that process and that journey has been going for you with Star Trading. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just share with us a little bit about who you are, and what you do in life, because trading
Yeah.
is your entire world. Not yet,
No,
anyway. So yeah, just a little bit about you, kind of your context, your background, and
yeah.
all that stuff.
Okay. So I'm a doctor by training, practicing doctor, and very much enjoy my work. It's busy, but it fulfills a passion, and I wouldn't sort of give that up. So I came at trading very much as something alongside, probably because I'm getting to that age where I'm thinking about what am I going to do in retirement, and also kind of getting to that point where I don't want to work all the time. I want to work so that I enjoy it, but I don't want to work until I'm burnt out. And it's about the freedom to have the choice of how much to work and how much not to work. So it's feeling at the stage of my life, planning about spending more time with family. I really enjoy travel, so it's having perhaps a little bit of a holiday fund, things like that. Um, so yeah, not replacing my entire income, but to enjoy the finer things in life while I'm still sort of fit and able to do that, not having to wait till I've worked into my 70s, sort of thing. So that was where the sort of original idea came from. I've kind of changed my career path within the last year or so. So I was already reevaluating how much time to spend working and how much time to spend enjoying everything else that life has to offer.
Yeah.
Um, so I was looking at other routes and other ways to kind of support that whilst continuing sort of working, but working a bit less. Um, and various, you look at various sort of investment opportunities or things like that. And I think I was listening to a property podcast, and I heard you speaking in one of their sort of episodes. You'd come in to talk about trading. So that's when I first sort of heard about star trading, and thought, well, that could be something that I'd be interested in. I think you sort of have an initial feeling of what that would interest me, or I don't have any interest in that. So it was
Yeah.
definitely a spark there that I thought, well, yeah, that would be interesting. And then I listened a bit, I looked on the website, found out a bit more about star trading, looked at some other trading opportunities. So you're sort of comparing what's out there. Um, and then sort of ended up sort of coming to you for the Forex in 5, and that's where it all sort of started, really. So I don't know if
Yeah.
I've gone on too long there, but
No, I think one of the things I really liked about what you said there is that trading for you was never meant to be the primary thing or become a full-time thing. I think a lot of people look at trading as my way out of everything currently, and
mm,
there's nothing wrong with that. That's definitely what it can be. But I do like the fact that you were kind of coming at it from a different angle. You really enjoy the work that you do. You maybe wanted to do a bit less of it or do it in a slightly different way, but you still enjoy what you do. So this was about additional income, not quitting the job, but having that additional income and having that thing which is going to help take care of you into retirement as well.
yeah.
So yeah, I really like that. So you then checked out other people, which I'm very upset about. No, I'm joking. What was it about Star Trading that made you think, yeah, these are the people I want to have help me master this skill set?
I just felt that every interaction that I had, that what was on the website, the podcast, your own podcast, all of that, everyone just seemed really genuine. And there are obviously reviews out there, and I think it was because you never know when you're going to take the leap with something like this. I think there are potentially a lot of shady um,
Yeah.
people out there. So I think you have to be quite careful. My husband was very dubious about me trading to start with, and who were these people that I was going to learn this dark art from. But yeah, I think it was everyone seemed really genuine, and there was just excellent feedback. So starting with the Forex in 5, I thought was a nice way to dip your toe in the water, just see what it's all about, and meet people, for the first time. And then after that, I sort of had a really good feeling that it would be a good fit for me, and yeah, went from there.
Brilliant. So you jumped into mentorship with us,
Mm.
and then obviously are now trading live as well. So how long did that process kind of take you from not knowing anything about trading to being able to trade live?
I think it was April that I first signed up. So I signed up just on the launch program. So I didn't commit to the full platinum to start with. Again, just sort of sussing it out and seeing how that worked, because you never sort of know, am I going to be successful at this? You know, you've got
Yeah.
all of these questions in your head
Yeah.
about the process. So I thought I'll start with the launch one and see how that went. So I started that sometime towards the end of April, probably. I can't even really remember now exactly when I started. And once I'd finished that, which I think, is it 12 weeks launch? I can't even remember now.
8 weeks, 8 weeks
8 weeks.
launch. Yeah.
So by the time I'd finished that, I was pretty much, fully up to speed on the pullback strategy, and was live trading, shortly after. I can't remember exactly when I placed my first live trade. I took it a little bit slow between going from launch to platinum, just because I had other things going on in life at that time. So I probably had a few weeks kind of where I was a little bit slow, but then picked it up as soon as I sort of get behind the desk. It's getting into the habit, I think, and creating the good habits of when
Yeah.
you're going to look at charts, when you're going to do the other things in your life. So I think it was finding my way with that to start with, and then
Yeah.
getting in once you start the platinum, and then you're back testing your second strategy. It's pacing yourself with your back testing and your live trading.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, easily within 3 months, I would say, and then from there, I've had probably one full month then of live trading now, and
And
actually have a
how
second strategy by now. So it was much quicker to pick up the second strategy.
it
So now I'm
always
live
is,
trading.
yeah. I think because with that first learning process, when you are completely brand new, there's a whole host of information on top of the strategy itself to kind of learn and to master. So then when we get on the platinum to the second strategy, we have already built that foundational knowledge and we can actually just learn a strategy, which is
Yeah,
really, really helpful.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah,
you've got one full month under your belt of trading live. How
yeah.
did that month go? What have the results been like?
I think the month went really well. I was really happy with it. So I came out with about 4.6%, I think, at the end of
Amazing.
the
Yeah.
month, which I was really happy with. With the platinum, you obviously get the oil trade as well, and that had a good month, so that helped.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was, all in all, felt it was a really solid start. Yeah, as soon as you're able to trade, you're able to convert that into success. I think it's just following the strategy
Yeah.
and not worrying too much about it when you start.
Yeah, completely, completely. So we've got two strategies kind of under our belt. We're still in the process of learning the third core star trading strategy. We do have the oil strategy as well, which is brilliant. So
Yeah,
what does the kind of future hold? So if we talk about your goal was to be basically building a holiday fund, a lifestyle fund, and using trading to kind of supplement income, and then take care of you a bit into pension years.
yeah.
How is that kind of looking for you now? How hopeful are you about that happening? How clear on that being a possibility do you feel? Yeah, what's kind of like the future now hold because of trading?
I think I'm very clear that it's absolutely part of what I'm going to do. I've, I'm in the swing now with life and how it all works with that. So I sort of get up every morning, do the same thing. I'm in the habit. So I've created that habit now, and I think that will be very easy to maintain. Um, so from this point, I've got an idea of kind of how much I want to build up my pot over the next few years, so that I can get to the point where it's then generating the kind of income I want at that point.
Yeah,
So I've got my sort of vision on that at the moment. 100%, I'm sure it's going to be doable.
brilliant.
Um, and so, yeah, I think it will just be, learning to trade with bigger amounts, and challenging yourself around that, because that's obviously ultimately needed when you want to generate returns. But it's all in the mindset things. Obviously, we've got the mindset coaching as well, which helps. So yeah, it's 100% doable from this point, just following the steps.
Yeah. What do you think has been the most surprising element or lesson or thing that's happened on your trading journey?
Probably how easy it is to learn.
Yeah.
It's actually very straightforward. It's actually just following a very clear process repeatedly over and over and over again, and it's not complicated. You don't really have to know anything else about, finances or what's going on in the world particularly, or anything like that. You just follow the strategy in the same way every day, and then by the law of statistics you get the return.
Yeah. I think it's a very good point, actually. I think often people, before they start this process of truly learning, it feels very overwhelming. I think even in the mentorship process, the first 2, 3 weeks, people feel like, oh my goodness, there's a lot here, there's a lot to learn. But within about 4 to 5 weeks, that kind of settles and calms down, and you realize, oh, actually, I'm learning here, I'm progressing, I'm moving forward, and it stops feeling quite so overwhelming. Did you kind
Yeah.
of experience that at the start of your
Yeah,
mentorship as well?
definitely. You start with, there's so much new information that you've got to absorb to start with, and you think it's going to be harder than it is. But I think the way that you build up from, you learn the basics, you learn the candle patterns, then you start to learn the patterns in the chart, and then you start applying them, and then you start back testing them. The way it's all built up, it just leads really nicely one to the other, so that and I would encourage people to really sort of take it slowly and just follow the steps, because I think people do want to just rush in and do all 50 back tests in the first week so they can get their seal. But actually, life doesn't really work like that. If you just follow the basics, the building blocks, and make it sustainable, that's how it becomes a natural. You just see the pattern when you look at it now, rather than having to think, is that lower, is that higher?
Yeah.
Just you just follow the pattern. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. What one piece of advice would you give to people who are looking to start their trading journey or have just started their trading journey?
I think be patient, but also be ambitious at the same time. Just have a longer term view, and don't try and do it all in the first weekend. And then I think if you have a losing trade, you've just got to look back and think, well, this is a statistical, I'm going to have some, and I have to just keep applying the patterns.
Yeah,
But, patience, but ambition at the same time.
brilliant. I love
Have a
that
long term.
balance. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you very much, Nikki. Well, that's everything from my side. Thank you very much for joining us today.
No problem.
I'm sure that will resonate with a lot of people, actually. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and good luck everyone who's going to take it on. Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks to you for all your help as well.
absolute pleasure.